They get
Slow
to.
getting going.
Yes,
Oh, right.
yeah, no,
I don't know
no,
if
that,
they've ever done that.
that if someone opts to, of the public opts to
Then
do
they got going.
how to be recognized, just those little
Nuances.
hiccups.
I was getting a little few.
Well, you can be learning by
I used to have it memorized, like, and it was like,
What the heck?
different pair of shoes, like.
Come on.
You get frustrated, the tech guys get frustrated.
So did they also patch over the culvert up on Moody Mountain Road? Is it-
Today.
They did, okay. Good. Good.
I was like, I don't want to sign, I don't want to approve that. And the warrant if it's not done.
All right.
How many times have I been like, whoop?
Okay. All right.
We go look that up. Hopefully, Robert will show up.
Or.
She's out of town,
That might turn this off.
As we discussed yesterday.
I was like, oh, I don't want to see it.
I don't want to talk.
We drove by the very next day. There was there. I'm like, I know it's
Well, I
not.
talked with David because
I
they
know.
were able to come in on Sunday.
They also know when people was here.
And send a link, you know, and
There was
so once we're
conversation
done doing the business of approving all of our policies,
It has been a while, but I know what we were trying
at our next
to get.
meeting to talk
all
about
the
hybrid meeting
Okay.
policies.
The stupid ones, they would need patching and then just have them do it all
I
in one day.
didn't know that you had a comment. And then these are excused absences too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a real problem.
Yeah,
I wanted
you
to
know,
be better at it. He would not respond.
Just tell them you got.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't
You
matter.
get three unexcused absences before the nuts start to get tight, you know, I mean, before disciplinary action.
Wanting to.
Yeah.
It's no joke being elected representative.
That's still send the board of selectmen all over it, but.
Yeah, I will try not to say that.
So will I, but occasionally I find myself.
My wife, she's ready to write a check on it. I'm like, no, let's get it first. I went to a performance, I was building, because I couldn't get it.
I was extremely.
Shush, 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 shush. Did that go off on them all?
Yep.
Cameron's.
Yeah.
Once.
You can see that. He works. It's interesting too, on site.
So did you just do a shim? You took it down far enough to do a shim and then a finish?
Cameron, you did a great job. Good. 2-3 years ago. A lot of those guys don't actually work. He is really work.
I did notice that, so it was Oakland's son. He ran just about every piece of equipment in my garage, in young, he's probably 21 years
Oh,
old.
same as Fred Cameron.
And the guys, he was, we don't stand around, he goes down and go do this and go down and do that. And he was all over them. Did a couple extra things for me that they banked up and all sorts of time. They kind of shaped that and put in which zipper. What's that?
Reviewing the list of must-dos for hybrid meetings.
Yes.
Don't want to miss one.
You must call the chair.
Somebody had reported Allison for a fishing.
Yeah.
So she had a post this weekend.
You told me.
Yeah.
You're
I heard it today.
Well, she had a post this weekend
that said,
Bug mine that once seen.
she got a picture of a fish. She goes, oh, I wish I
Saved
could,
by the bride.
I relocated it, but I've learned that it's.
It's been so long.
Very clearly, Martin's probably came to visit her.
Really small watching.
She might have been excited, I don't know, but they at least came to visit her, because she never would comment another that way.
We're trying to save.
Yeah, yeah,
I just want you to burn it.
yeah, yes,
Fishing in posted waters, so to speak.
yeah,
Well, no license.
yeah.
And there's legal methods
Or
of
at least
fishing,
offer
and by your
a level
hand
of mea culpa.
is not one of them.
Acknowledge.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the whole meaning of burning it has changed so much. Especially
Yeah.
with Zoom,
Yeah.
COVID, people just like,
Oh,
that's
no,
one
what's her
person.
name tonight?
Yeah.
Right, well, yeah,
It's not there.
she's-
Yeah.
You're
No, that's,
listening to yourself.
that's Ron.
Yep.
But no.
Hi.
I know.
Trying to make the back of it
Um,
better.
Right, oh.
Ah, excuse me. Okay.
Oh, actually, he,
Can you guys hear me?
He's
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
off
yeah,
any,
can you hear us?
any,
Okay.
Yes?
and he's moved today out of.
David may not
care
have turned
into a
it.
normal
Can you
one.
hear us, Robin?
And,
Yes,
Okay, we're good.
I could hear you.
Right, but inclusive, what I learned today, which people didn't, well. Hospital. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, he fell, hit his head, and then that's what, he stayed good.
He has Tony.
Right. A lot of people,
A lot of people don't realize that.
yeah, different.
But I haven't heard it.
Yeah, so today I was talking to,
Yes. Yep,
I
yep,
remember that, because
Yeah.
okay. And then there's one of those, reading
Yeah.
that.
yep, nope, yep.
And she's part of that whole.
Yeah.
Robin, can you hear us?
she was talking to me about.
She said yes.
Yes, I can.
I was like, let's wait till he gets to the rehab facility. He's not quite
Plenty of volume,
yet. But he's, I guess
plenty of
he's
volume.
totally awake. There's quite a few days he wasn't awake.
I'm in my car, just so you know, with the windows down. So there could be ambient traffic noise on occasion.
Okay.
So where are you parked?
If you want me, I'm parked behind the Southwest Harbor Library.
Look at that, 30 seconds to spare.
Awesome job, David. How long has it been since we've had a hybrid meeting?
I don't know when. It requires thought on my behalf. Thank you.
Hey, David,
Yes.
before we get started, can I vote for myself, or am I supposed to abstain from the Waldo County Budget Committee?
You're allowed by law to vote for yourself if you so wish.
Okay.
All right, and it's 6 p.m., let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Lincolnville Select Board meeting. It's the 24th of June, and we are running a hybrid meeting. We have Robin Tarantino, who is joining us remotely. So by participating and having a remote hybrid meeting, this means that all members of the public must be able to hear, see and hear all members of the board, the select board, or any other speaker, and also shall be allowed to participate. Technically, the chair acts as the remote facilitator, but because David's running the laptop and the visibility of the screen of seeing someone else wants to participate, it's gonna have to be a team effort to acknowledge if a member of the public is joining us remotely. Members of the select board shall refrain from electronic communications regarding subjects considered at the meeting during the meeting. Obviously, there's electronic copies of all of the information that we have that may be employed by members of the board, and all votes shall be conducted by roll call, which is so much fun. Any questions there? Okay, so I think I covered the highlights. Did I miss anything critical? All right, so before we get going, Karen, would you care to lead the coach of the evening?
I'd be glad to. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar.
Thank you. And I'd like to open the podium for any non-agenda items for the Citizens Forum. Not seeing anybody? All right, let's move along to the administrator's report.
As hard as it is to believe, since the last time you all met, we've had town meeting and elections. It seems like it was months ago now, but it wasn't. So, for those of you that out there in the world that might be unaware, Lately Dunn and Karen Lake Jr. were re-elected to the select board. Dina Lindley and Kirsten Serby were elected to the Lincolnville Central School Committee. Andrew Wolf was elected to the 5-town CSD board. Gerald Knight and Laurie Knight were both elected to the Budget Committee for 3-year terms. Lita Stoutenberg was elected to the 2-year term on the Budget Committee. So we still have two, I believe it's at least 2 positions available on the Budget Committee that the select board can appoint for 1 year. They would go till the next annual town meeting when people can choose to run for those positions. So if there's anybody out there that wishes to be considered for appointment to the Budget Committee, please reach out and we'll get you a community interest form. We'll get that in front of the select board at their next meeting when the board will be considering all their boards, committees, commissions, and team appointments. In addition to that, all the articles at the annual town meeting that was held on Thursday passed, and we're still doing reporting for the state and for the 5-town CSD, but it's coming back. If we had everybody in the office, it might be a little easier, but we're gaining on that too, hopefully. Continuing on that same line, the Lincolnville Central School budget was not validated, it was defeated. We're going to talk about that on item 6, so I won't spend a lot of time on that. There were the 5-town CSD budget passed, and the building project proposed by the 5-town community school district was also passed. I'm not, unless somebody really wants me to, going to bother to read all the people on the Democratic and Republican primaries that got nominated by their parties. In addition to that, our project continues on Calderwood Lane. We're actually, the contractor is not working there today and tomorrow, but we'll be back on Thursday. They're well up the road, nearing the end with the placement of the sub-base gravel filter fabric and the sub-base gravel. So they're almost done excavating out all that needs to be excavated out except for driveways and some ditching. materials. We will do compaction testing on that material when it's in place and rolled before they put down the surface gravel, and then we'll do compaction testing on that as well. It looks as though they'll complete the gravel portion before the middle of July, and then they'll be gone for a short period of time to do a in-stream culvert project, and then be back to do the paving. If things went miraculously well and weather cooperated, we might get the paving done prior to departing, but I'm not overly optimistic on that. They do have until I think it's the end of October to complete the project, so they're well on the way. We haven't, at least I haven't fielded any questions or concerns about traffic in and out. So I think people recognize that it's going to be a good improvement when it's done, and they're tolerant of the progress in that. We also we continue to put back together the beach. The paving got done there last week, and now it's been restriped because they had to dig up that striping there, so it didn't look complete. The handrails from the stairs went in over the weekend. Very good job from Larry Philbrook, who did the handrails for us. In terms of their appearance, functionality, it also highlights where the steps are versus where they weren't, so I think that would be helpful for people. We still have work to go for signage and whatever else down there, but it's safe and functional at the moment. We've also done some paving of the cross culverts. That the Youngtown Road one was complete, Green Acre Road's complete, and Moody Mountain, if they didn't finish it today, should be completed tomorrow. Then we have some spots that alongside the road that still needs some repair, and we may get those tomorrow as well. The pier, we've had troubles with some power down there from where the conduit got broke in the storms. The electrician was there today, and my guess is they'll be back to do some more work tomorrow. So it's all done together, but it's not quick, it's not fast, and some things require somebody else to do some work before they can do some work. We also started the end of last week with attempting to remove the fender piles that were broken off from the pier. That we're still trying, sort of that way, but they'll come eventually, and we'll get some new ones in there and get that back together. Also met with a couple of different people from FEMA last week. It was Wednesday, and once again went over the process of what we need to do in order to be able to be eligible to get our money back, or a portion of our money back. We have 60 days from Wednesday to submit our official damage inventory list, which we've already got a damage inventory list, and now we have to transfer it to their official form and submit it. So hopefully it won't be problematic to meet that 60-day deadline. We got anything that we have already that's been constructed and built, we can submit that as well, but those can also go in after the 60 days. We just want to make sure that they know exactly what you're working on, what you're doing. Also had the opportunity to go down to Lincolnville Beach with I don't know what his title is for FEMA, project manager, for lack of a better word. Wednesday after we all met in here, and because they had somebody here from historic and environmental, somebody here from the hazard mitigation program, and then they were supposed to have a couple of people join us via phone. They didn't or couldn't, but anyhow, so that is progressing in the right direction. We received, I don't know if I told you this last time or when, it all kind of ran together. We received our signed grant for the culvert project on Youngtown Road back, that you all authorized it, you to sign. So now the next step on that will be soliciting proposals from engineering consultants to do the design and the permitting for that. Hope, dream, and aspiration is to do that design work and permitting work this fall, submit the permit so we can go out to bid midwinter and get that constructed next summer during the in-stream window, which is you typically mid-July through end of September. And our goal would be to get it done from mid-July, get the road open in early September so the school buses can traverse the town road. There's goals and then there's what actually occurs, but that's our stated goal and timeline at the moment. Let's see, that's on town office, that's on that, and there's a fair amount on the agenda, so I think that's it.
Any follow-up questions for David?
Oh, we have had
Yes.
we have had a couple of parking concerns expressed to us, particularly today. Fair warning for everybody. Wasn't on the top of the list, but it's getting really close, so.
Park appropriately.
Park appropriately, be forewarned, because.
Right?
One question on that.
Yeah.
I think last time you mentioned you were the only person that's
Yep.
authorized.
Yep.
Should we make additional people authorized to do so, such as our public facilities director? Or
You could if you wanted to. I'm not sure if he'd be excited about it, but I'm not excited about it either, but you know. Yeah, typically I think I mentioned this last time, we get a flurry of activity after the state starts to charge. And we remind people that they need to do better, and they do, and then periodically we remind them again about the season.
We could certainly add that to a future agenda to have that conversation. Okay. Have a chat about parking. All right, sounds good. If there's nothing more on administrator's report, let's move along to upcoming meetings and announcements.
Sorry, as you know, I'm taking notes
Yeah,
too, so.
no.
All meetings are here at the town office unless announced otherwise. The planning board meets Wednesday, June 26th at 7 p.m. here at the town office. That, in addition to any other planning board items, that is a public hearing for the proposed land use ordinance amendments that will be considered at a special town meeting upcoming. The Lincolnville Central School is scheduled to meet Monday, July 1st, 6 p.m. at the Lincolnville Central School. They're also meeting in a special meeting as we speak at the school to discuss how they're going to proceed on their budget. Town office will be closed for Independence Day on, whoops, I skipped one, didn't I? On your new agenda that came out here, the Heart and Soul team is meeting to talk about environment on Thursday, the 27th at 6 p.m. at Breezemere Park in the gazebo.
Okay.
Sorry about that, I have the old agenda with me
Yep.
too. Anyhow, back to the regular. Town office will be closed in observance of Independence Day on Thursday, July 4th. The Recreation Commission is scheduled to meet Monday, July 8th at 4 p.m. and the Select Board meets next on Monday, July 8th, 6 p.m.
Excellent, thank you. Are there any upcoming community events anyone wishes to share? Nothing.
I have one. Well, at 7:30 on Thursday is the town band concert at the gazebo following the environment conversation.
Wonderful. That's great, thank you. And if there are no other community events, let's move along to the meeting minutes. We have two sets of minutes, one from June 10th. I'll accept a motion for that.
Go ahead. I move the board approve the June 10, 2024 meeting minutes as presented.
Moved by Selectman Hand, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing no discussion. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is yes also. Those sets of minutes have been approved. And we have the second set of minutes to approve. I will entertain a motion.
The board approve the June 13th, 2024 meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Hand. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. Thank you all very much. And I think it'd be beneficial, David, if you wanted to launch into the, as brief as it possibly can be, but the Lincolnville Central School fiscal year 2025 budget adoption process and timeline, take two.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, the Lincolnville Central School budget for the upcoming fiscal year was not validated by the voters. It was 217 voted in favor and 269 were opposed. So in essence, the process starts over again, but it has a very strict and relatively short timeline, considering all the things that have to occur between the validation day of June 11th. Apparently, as I get anecdotal, by others telling me, a number of school budgets around the state were turned down more than typical. But I don't believe it's ever occurred here prior. So it was a little bit of a learning curve, to say the least. I have met with the principal and the superintendent to go over the process, so everybody's starting off on the same page, so to speak. But as I said earlier, in essence, it starts over. The school committee has 2 new members that got sworn in so they can participate in their meetings. They've started tonight with some discussion about the budget and what was meant by 217 yes, 269 no, and what do they have to do to get to yes. Right now, the superintendent wasn't sure, but she was thinking that they would not make any recommendations tonight at their meeting, but rather learn and talk and try to come to some consensus. But the school committee will need to decide what changes, if any, because they're not required by law to make any changes, they wish to make to their recommendations for their various cost centers. So everything that the voters saw in May at the budget meeting, starting with, school administration, system administration, instruction, food service, transportation, all of those various items, the school committee will once again have to make a recommendation as to what they think is necessary and appropriate. From there, once their budget recommendations are known, they'll make a presentation to the budget committee. The budget committee will also get a chance to make their recommendations on the budget, similar to what they had done previously. At that point, there will be a special town meeting that will be warrant that will be drawn up for your consideration. It is only the select board is empowered to call for a special town meeting or budget meeting for the school. That's really more of a ministerial act for you folks. You don't have a lot of discretion. You don't prepare the school budget. You don't delve into it. As citizens, you're welcome to, obviously, to vote. But in terms of trying to figure out whether or not they need, free basketballs and light bulbs and whatever else, that's what the school committee was elected for. So the goal, as I discussed it with the principal and the superintendent, is to have the special town meeting warrant prepared for you for your consideration at their next meeting, which is July 8th. They may, depending on, that's 2 weeks away. Depending on how much work they need to do and what changes they need to make, it may need to push off to later in that week. This board had previously talked about holding the special town meeting as part of the July 22nd, or prior to your July 22nd meeting for the land use ordinance change regarding raising of buildings and the harbor ordinance amendment. You can do those at 2 separate meetings if you want, or you could combine them together. Seemed like if we were getting people together once, why get them together twice? But the other option is if you wanted to, this is not necessarily a good option, because it adds another public meeting in there. Public hearing would be to vote on the 2 town referenda or the town questions as part of the referendum question when we do the school budget. But we'll leave that for another day, maybe. So all of these meetings have to occur, including the budget meeting, within no less than 10 days, but no more than 45 days after June 11th. So in essence, we've got to like the 25th or 26th of July to hold the next budget meeting. The special town meeting warrant has to be posted for at least 7 days to warn the public to show the meeting, start to participate. So if you start back calculating and it gets a real tight window. I think it will work depending on the availability of the budget committee to meet and make their recommendations, but we'll have to proceed with it without them at that point, because you can't know. So the special town meeting, which will include the school budget meeting, it's an open town meeting format. Voters have to be present to vote. There is no absentee voting. You gotta show up, listen to whatever, ask whatever questions you want, raise your little card, and vote when it's time. Raise your card when it's time to vote. So you gotta be present to vote. Once those budget amounts are determined, so if the voters choose, $1 million for instruction, and they go through all those cost centers, they all get determined that night. There'll be, once again, the school committee will have a recommendation, budget committee will have a recommendation, and town meeting can do whatever they want. Those recommendations or another number. Those then get listed on a form called the Notice of Amounts that gets posted in the polling place. We can make that available on the website as well. You folks will all have to call another town meeting, which will be a referendum election. We have 45 days from the budget meeting till that referendum election has to be conducted. It doesn't have to be on day 45, but it can be up to the date 45. Voters will go to the polling place, get a ballot that says, do you want to approve what was approved at the previous meeting? Those notice of amounts will be posted in the polling place, available every place else that we post. Town meeting warrants will be on the website. And voters will get their final say similar to what they had on June 11th and say yes or no. There's no amounts written in the question, it's just, do you want to do it or don't you? And if they choose yes, then the budget is done and we'll be able to commit taxes. If they choose no, whole process starts over again. And it's an the process repeats itself over and over again until the voters finally say, yes, that's an amount we're willing to validate. And there are provisions in the law that if taxes, if it keeps getting said no, and taxes need to be committed, there are provisions in the law that allows you as the Board of Assessors to commit taxes. I would not encourage you to utilize that unless it was absolutely necessary. But we hopefully won't have to cross that bridge. We will, in all likelihood, postpone, the tax commitment date, just because of the logistics of getting all these numbers together and, but that's for another day too. So there, did I talk long enough, brief enough, in-depth enough?
I think you hit it. I hit all the high points. Are there questions for David?
Yeah. Yeah, I think what people might wanna know is, assuming that it's voted down, or this process does not work, come up with a budget,
Mm-hmm.
is school gonna start? Will
Yes.
kids get to go to school?
Yes, the law makes provision for, monies to be used to operate the school. So come I'm just making this up, day after Labor Day, because I don't know when school is scheduled to start. If there is not a voter-approved budget, there will still be money available for kids to ride the bus and for parents to drop off their kids and be done with them for, 6 hours or whatever it is. And yes,
It's not recess starting.
it's not an extended summer break for the
Right,
children.
Thanks.
Okay, great, yeah. Karen.
So I have one quick question. So in the grand scheme of things, it's actually going to be, if I'm hearing this right, it's gonna be 90 days before the town voters are able to vote on this.
It'll be no more than 90 days.
Okay.
The budget meeting likely will be at day, I'm making this up, 40.
Yeah.
And then, so you'd be at the worst, day 85, when the vote will occur. And one thing I neglected to mention is on the validation vote, the referendum question that people will get, that is a referendum election. There are ballots, there will be absentee ballots available for that voting. There will not be absentee for the budget meeting, you have to be there.
Right.
But for the paper ballot, absentee ballots will be available to people. We'll announce when that will
We'll
be.
announce that in advance.
Yes.
That will be made very clear.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you. That's all I have.
great, thanks everybody. And thank you for taking the time to explain that, David, it's,
Well, it was a nice learning curve,
yeah.
but I hope I never had to do.
Yes. And we have, believe it or not, consideration of road salt bids before us. David, would you care to briefly explain what we've got before us here?
Sure. Winter seems to come every year. One of the things we do in preparation for that is we join in a regional group to put out to bid the supply of road salt, which we did again this year. You have, I'm trying to get to the right page, in your packet, a copy of those results. The low bidder this year was New England Salt Company, who we worked successfully with in the past. I think we've worked with all three of those companies in the past, but New England Salt had the lowest price and has good service, and it's within the monies that were budgeted, so
Great.
that's the recommendation.
And we're looking at slightly less than last year.
Surprisingly, about the only thing in the world apparently that hasn't gone up is the supply of winter salt, but we'll take it, because we need it.
Excellent. I will entertain a motion.
And the road salt bid for fiscal year 2025 be awarded to New England Salt Company at the delivered price of $74 per ton and the picked up price of $73 per ton, and that the town administrator is hereby authorized to enter into an agreement with New England Salt Company under these terms.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Lake, seconded by Selectperson Tarantino. Is there discussion? Seeing no discussion. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what is your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. Motion passes. Thank you all very much. And moving rapidly along, we have the service contract amendment. David, do you want to add anything to what's in our packet?
Nope, unless you want me to explain.
All right. I will entertain a motion.
I move that the board authorize the town administrator to sign the service contract amendment with Northeast Mobile Health Services in the amount of $160,707.60 for the contract period of July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025.
Second.
Moved by select person Hand, seconded by select person Ray. Is there discussion? Seeing no discussion. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, the motion passes. Thank you.
I would note that this is the last year of our 3-year contract with Northeast, so stay tuned.
And hopefully everybody's okay with me using first names, because it just goes so much faster for a roll call. Okay, great, thanks. And before us, an agenda item number 9, we have a copy of the ballot for the Waldo County Budget Committee for District 1, and we have select person Tarantino successfully on that. And so, entertain a motion.
I move the board cast its Waldo County Budget Committee District 1 ballot for Robin Tarantino.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Ray. Is there discussion? Seeing none, Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, the motion passes, and Robin, thank you.
I look forward to it.
Guys, really?
I know I'm a weirdo.
Oh, it's great, it's great. And enclosed in our packet is the assessor's agent contract for the coming fiscal year. It's pretty much the same except for dates, and a slight adjustment in compensation and pay intervals. Unless further explanation is needed, I would entertain a motion. That's the road noise.
That's in Southwest Harbor. Yeah.
I move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign the contract for assessing services with Fort Halifax appraisals for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Ray, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. Thank you.
I would like to note for the public and for the board, in case they missed it, this is the last year
Yes.
that we'll have services of Fort Halifax appraisals, and in particular Vernon Ziegler, which I, for one, will, I'm hoping the next people are as good, but he's been a lesson for the town for 17 or 18 years.
At what point do we start looking?
We have actually, with the company that we contracted for the revaluation, they're going to continue on in the assessor's agent role, at least through the first year of doing the commitment, because next year they'll have their own values to defend and provided we're all satisfied with the services, we'll probably have a continuing contract.
All right. So agenda item number 11, as you can see in your packet, once again, thankfully, the media alerted us as to things that we've participated in, apparently. And, you know, I don't mean to sound snarky, but I'm getting a little tired of this. And so I drafted that piece of correspondence. Happy to entertain any questions anyone has about it, but basically, since we're not actually being included and we're not having any sort of correspondence coming from that committee or that board, I feel it appropriate for us to reach out and say, hey, if you're invoking our name, and if you truly are concerned about this in a regional way, and then just taking a step back, you know, us protecting the needs and rights of our taxpayers in shoreland, freshwater shoreland property owners, we should be involved in the conversation.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I would love someone to make a motion in support of that.
I move the board sign and send proposed letters to the Gunnecook River Citizens Advisory Committee and the Camden Select Board.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Hand, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Comments?
I like the letter.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Sure, there would be a lot of comments, but I think a lot of them are better left unsaid, see if we can't get them to realize that we should be at the table. You're tired of asking, to be real honest with you, and it's classic, to say the least.
I see it as sort of, maybe there's a silver lining, because I don't know if you went to the website itself. It's stunning and chock full of information, and so the optimistic side of me says if there is, such a well-organized, proactive committee, that they will see this invitation as a way of, opening the door in a way that the Camden Select Board is apparently too busy with other things. So, yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. Thank you all very much for your consideration on that.
Thank you.
And moving along, we have the MMA Legislative Policy Committee ballot. And we have James Kosif for District 11, wishing to serve on the Legislative Policy Committee, and I'll entertain a motion.
I move that the board cast our ballot for James Kosif for District 11 of the Legislative Policy Committee.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Ray, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes, and thanks to James for doing that. And we have an application for a pole location on Brodus Road. David, do you want to add anything to what's in our packet?
Sure, just, they're looking to replace existing pole 5, adjacent to where pole 5 is now. Put pole 4.5 in, so if somebody's building a new house and they need a pole midway to take the service to. Looked at it for both, had Conservation Commission look at it and they said it was fine, and we looked at it for making sure it wouldn't interfere with the roadway in any way. No worse or better than any of the other poles alongside that road, so maybe it's good.
Okay. Would someone care to make a motion?
I move the board approve and sign the application for pole location as submitted for 2 poles adjacent to Broadus Road and identified as notification number 103010178557.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Hand. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. The motion passes. Thank you. And prior to acting on agenda item number 14 as Board of Assessors, I first need a motion, please.
I move that we suspend our meeting as a select board and that we convene as the Board of Assessors.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Ray. Is there discussion? Seeing no discussion. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yep.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. We are now convened as the Board of Assessors. David, do you want to give a brief explanation of what we're talking about?
Sure, the representatives of the Thibodeau Family Trust, Family Living Trust, came in last week with a survey of their property. We've been assessing them at 11.6 acres for a long time, and they actually have 6.4. So the assessors agent thought it appropriate to grant an abatement that would change their landscape value of land schedule down from 11.6 to 6.4, which sounds like a lot of acreage, and it is a lot of acreage. Sounds like potentially a lot of tax value, but it's not the best land in all the world. Took the valuation down to $7,800, which is $131.82 in tax.
Correcting a mistake is important. That's good. Okay. Would someone care to make a motion, please?
I move the board grant abatement number 2023-05 to the Thibodeau Family Living Trust in the tax amount of $131.82 to correct an error in the land value. Second.
Moved by Selectman Hand, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin, what's your vote?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. Motion passes. And prior to moving on with the rest of our agenda, I need a final motion as the Board of Assessors.
I move that we adjourn our meeting as the Board of Assessors and reconvene as the Select Board.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Ray, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. We are now back as select board members. So for this evening, we have a slate of municipal officials to appoint. As you can see, we have David Kinney in 552,000 different roles. Anyway, sorry. We have basically our town office staff, as well as our electrical inspector and alternates, and fire chief. And auditor, assessor's agent, and our town attorney, and animal control officer. We can appoint them as a group, or if anyone wishes, we can do all of these individually. I will
Personally, I
Move
feel
forward.
a group would be the way to go.
grant.
Thank you very much.
I will entertain that motion then.
I move the board appoint the individuals listed to the positions shown on the sheet entitled Town Office Appointment Papers and dated June 24th, 2024.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Ray. Is there discussion?
Matt Dean as EMA director. I thought, that's who he was. And I just don't see it on the list here. I don't know where we are with that.
He is our representative to the EMA.
I don't know when we did the appointment, if it was,
We moved on it.
oh, he is the EMA director, you appointed him.
Yeah.
Maybe you could add him individually after, and then if he needs a new.
'Cause I don't-
we'll do it.
Because we
There are several positions that are spelled out in statute, so they have different expiration dates. Health officer, road commissioner, not different, but it's a 3-year term. And I don't know if EMA is one of them, but it wouldn't hurt to reappoint him again after you get done with all these other ones.
just double Band-Aid, yeah.
Nobody else is listed as EMA director, are they?
No.
No. But isn't he also the assistant harbor master? Does that not have to be on this list?
It's in there.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what, oh, inland harbor master is the same thing?
No,
No.
the one above it.
Deputy Harbor Master.
Deputy
Beauty.
Marine.
Sorry, totally
Sorry.
missed that word.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, well, if there's no further discussion, let's move this first motion then. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. And so, Mike, would you care to make an additional motion just to double cross our fingers on our
Yeah, sure.
daughter T?
I move that the board appoint Matt Dean as emergency management director for the town of Lincolnville on the sheet entitled Dated June 24, 2024.
For a term, do we do a term of 1 year or?
Yeah, I was just gonna,
Okay.
I think I just wrote down when Mike actually
I
said,
haven't stopped talking.
which was to use that special motion of doing them separately, which is on page something else that I haven't got to yet. So, let's see, move to appoint Matt Dean to the position of Emergency Management Director for a term expiring June 2025.
That sounded what you said.
I thought so.
Second.
Okay, moved by Selectman Ray, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern? what's your
Yes.
vote? Okay, Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes, thank you very much. And one of the most exciting things we get to do in the year is our fiscal 2025 septage disposal agreement. This is something that we, the agreement that we have to enter into. Not that we necessarily will avoid it, but it's a requirement by state statute. So, would someone care to make a motion, please?
I move the board approve and sign the septic waste disposal facility agreement with Interstate Septic Systems, Inc. for the fiscal year 2025.
So moved. By Selectman Lake, do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Selectman Hand. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes, thank you very much. And it is time to adopt, renew, amend, or rescind our board policies. First on the table is our rules of procedure for the select board. If there are no requests to renew, amend, or rescind, I recommend that we make a motion to adopt.
I'd like to suggest that we do make an amendment. That's on page, well, I guess page 3, third page in, that first full paragraph under placing items on the agenda, the select person. And I would simply add at the end, the very end, where it says, like, so that it can be copied and distributed to the board, I would add and members of the public. Because this does, the package does go out to the public. And I don't think it hurts to remind the boards of that.
Sure. Is everyone in agreement of that amendment?
Sure.
Excellent. Well then, would you care to move it with the acknowledgement of the amendment?
Yeah. I move that the select board adopt the proposed rules of procedure
As amended.
as amended for the Lincolnville Select Board for the coming fiscal year.
Excellent. Moved by Selectman Ray, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Selectperson Tarantino. Is there discussion? Seeing none, Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes. And next up is the treasurer disbursement warrant for employee. And then-
No. Don't, it is?
I'm sorry?
I thought we had that letter. That's not next. Sorry. I guess I'm out of order on here.
What letter?
Sorry. I thought we were going ahead to item 18. I misunderstood.
Oh, no, we have 3 more policies.
Right. Got it.
So as I was saying, disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits, I will entertain a motion.
I move the board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for sending revenue collected on behalf of.
Nope, back up. Before that. Employee wages and benefits at the bottom.
I move the select board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits dated June 24, 2024.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Hand, seconded by Selectman Ray. Discussion? Seeing none, Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, that passes. And Kern, we have the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrant for state fees
Yeah.
and revenues.
I move the board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for sending revenue collected on behalf of the state to the appropriate state agency dated June 24th, 2024.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Ray. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, that passes. And the final policy to consider this evening is the disbursement warrant for municipal education costs.
I move the board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for municipal education costs dated June 24th, 2024.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Hand. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
I forgot, I can't remember. Robin?
Yes.
And my vote is also yes, thank you. And, I guess I would just like to point out, while it's not in this slate of policies that we typically approve, but in preparing for tonight's, hybrid meeting, making sure that we're following our own policy, I realize that our, remote and hybrid meeting policy is rife with, references to the selectmen, board of selectmen. And there are a couple other amendments, that I'll send an email out, that'll be included. So I just would like to add this to our next agenda for the board to, revise and consider a couple amendments to our remote and hybrid meeting policy.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. David, you got that note? So
I did.
I don't forget either. Okay, thank you, everyone. And so moving along, I think, after a conversation I had with David and the various conversations you've been having, David, I think you should take this one to, introduce and talk about what's going on with the DOT and the reason behind this letter.
Sure. At the board's last meeting, a number of you expressed your frustration, concern over the lack of communication coming from MDOT and how quickly they want to turn around on certain things, like 2 days from now, we'll submit this grant request. So put it on the draft agenda, put together the letter that is in your packet for your consideration, and then all of a sudden a flurry of communications started to arrive. We've heard from the senior project manager for Route 1 in response to the letter you all sent to the town of Northport, that they would most likely, not most likely, maybe I'll just read it to you and get a copy if you want to. Thank you for the letter and the town's interest in the projects. We are currently waiting to officially kick off the projects once the statewide transportation improvement program and federal funding is approved, which should be very soon. The projects are currently funded only for preliminary engineering. We will be sending the towns a written project notice once the statewide transportation improvement plan and federal funding is approved. We requested the existing conditions, topographic surveys of the roads and abutting properties within the project limits prior to the kickoff to get an early start and take advantage of better site conditions prior to leaf out of the trees. Once the survey data has been collected and processed, we will be assigning the design team for the projects. Prior to the internal initial team meeting, we would like to meet with the towns to discuss the planning process and specific items shown on the letter you sent. I will contact you as soon as the statewide transportation improvement program and federal funding is approved to set the date and time for the meeting. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Bess Doug Coombs, Senior Project Manager in the Highway Program. In addition to that, for the highway projects, I received by email a letter asking us to point out any items of historical something that we're aware of within the project bounds, and then they quickly said, if you have any questions about the project, reach out to Doug Coombs. So that's out there available. I will probably reach out to the Historical Society as well as any resources that we have in order to respond to that request. So that's kind of where we stand on the two Route 1 potential projects, Camden Town Line to Beach Road, and then Carver Lane through and into Northport. The MDOT project at the former Lobster Shack, McLaughlin's Lobster Shack, which really precipitated a fair amount of this letter, and maybe a rewrite or two of this letter. I've already gone down a little bit. On Wednesday afternoon, a little after 1 last week, I received an email inviting me to a pre-construction meeting that would be occurring on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock, which was a little less than 26 hours prior to the pre-construction meeting. Thursday at 6 being town meeting, that was not going to work for me. I sent a note back saying I'm not going to be there. I'd like to, obviously we'd like to be involved and have as much knowledge, and 26 hours of notice just doesn't work well most of the time. I received from Morel Corneau sorry, but we had a very short time frame for the project, and they had the meeting. The removal of the former Lobster Shack could commence as early as tomorrow, or perhaps as late as Wednesday. At one point, the building was contemplated to be moved by the contractor. DOT doesn't really have a preference what happens as long as it's not on their site. But as I understand it today, the contractor has changed their mind about trying to salvage the building, and is going to remove it, along with the foundation and sealing of the well. Did receive, after asking or requesting today, a copy of the minutes of that meeting. So I now have those as well. Dan Ford from Hope is actually the contractor that's going to be doing the demolition project there. I don't know what the end condition is going to be. I assume they're going to install erosion control, take the building down, and then somehow stabilize the property for the time being. So let's see on that one. Precursor to the. Can you not hear me, Robin? Am I not talking loud?
Oh, there's a car idling behind me.
Sorry.
They just left.
So obviously this is a precursor to whatever is coming down the pipe in terms of parking area, park, whatever they're looking to do, which they haven't completely told us. And then what is the other project that's underway in the area? Yeah, the ferry. Haven't had anything new from Mackenzie on that, but at least with that one, they gave away the meeting, gave us some information. I presume that they have filed for the second half of that grant to actually fund the whole project without the board's letter of support. And assuming they get that, I'm going to make the assumption that they're going to be moving ahead with doing the design and putting that out today. So I don't know if that changes any or all of the nice note draft that's in your packet, but
Yeah, Steve,
The only project I was aware of for Route 1 was from, maybe I was mistaken, but it was from whatever road to Northport line.
Harbor Lane through to
Right.
whatever.
Into
Northport.
Northport.
Yep.
And whatever, and that's where the engineering they're planning on doing this next round is for, correct?
No. Yeah, well, they plan to do that, but in addition to that, they are surveying or have surveyed or did the aerial. I think they do it with a drone now, but don't hold me to that. The little checkerboards that people have seen
Right.
on Route 1 also extend from the Camden town line through to the beach road.
Yeah.
So they're planning,
For all of it.
I don't know if they would do it all in one project or if they would do it, one this year and then one for years,
That's the type of question, like today I stood there, I was getting coffee and across the street was Collier's Engineering out there on those squares.
Yep.
Doing all their stuff, and people are like, what project is this for? Or whatever, and that's the type of thing that we need to know. We need to know, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. And so to me, this doesn't change the need for the letter at all.
absolutely. I mean, at the risk of sounding rude, I feel like we're a patient going in to see our physician and having all of these different major symptoms of one disease presenting themselves, and that the DOT, being the physician, is pretending like all of these things are happening in a vacuum, which as the host community for all of these projects is upsetting, disturbing to have the DOT compartmentalize it in such a way, in acting in such a way that they don't have anything to do with each other, which they do. And, and that hub, that intersection of Beach Road and Ferry in the former McLaughlin's property, it would be nice to know, so that our citizens can, there's nothing worse for a community to have rumor and speculation circulating as opposed to information and a plan. And also, as the policy setters in our community, to have that door open to participate and have a say. So, yeah, I don't think it changes anything.
So did any of those letters that you got, that you just explained to us, they cover all of those project ID numbers there, or?
Yes, the two ID numbers, the first two are the two sections of Route 1.
Yeah.
Which they broke down into two projects. The third is the ferry terminal improvements, which includes the ferry itself and changes, the electrical changes. And the fourth is the parking project.
All right, so we got no information on the last two, really?
We don't have anything new on the ferry terminal project itself. They may have got, I'm surmising, they may have gotten as far as they can go without these additional grant funds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In my opinion, I think that letter still needs to go.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do we need to do, it looks like we lost Robin.
I presume, she's gone, that Robin will be able to
Jump back on.
click on the link, and if she doesn't pop right back up, and she just comes in as a participant, I can promote her to a participant. But that's not covered in our policy, I don't think, if we have
It is.
glitch or I quit in the middle of it.
It isn't. Well, we're still a hybrid meeting because she initiated that, so, I will entertain a motion.
I move the board approve, sign, and send a letter to Maine DOT Commissioner Van Note regarding all the projects underway in Lincolnville and our request to be more thoroughly informed and involved throughout the process.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Hand, seconded by Selectman Late. Is there discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for sending this letter,
Mm-hmm.
but I would suggest that we try to make it more current, I guess, by, that we are in the loop, by acknowledging receipt, of whatever communication David was reading. And say, pretty much like, while we appreciate the recent communication, David, blah, 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 we want you to keep going with that. I just kind of think that would make it, they would see that we're following the issue, I guess.
Yeah, so it would have to be the recent communications specifically regarding,
Yeah, they would have want it to be documented,
I-
or dated, or however.
Or even just say,
How do you do that?
that last paragraph, while we appreciate some recent communication, we
Right.
respectfully request.
A vigorous continued,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cause it doesn't let the pressure off of.
No,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
At all.
But
While we
also-
appreciate the recent,
Right.
some recent communication,
Yeah.
comma, we respectfully request.
Yes, yeah, excellent. Do you care to amend your motion?
Steve.
Steve, do you care to amend your
I
motion?
will-
Thank you. Sorry.
I will,
I'm sorry, Dr. Bolt there.
I'll amend the previous motion to add the phrase, while we appreciate some recent communication, comma, we respectfully request.
Okay.
And.
I will second that amended motion.
Thank you. So Selectman Hand amended the motion and Selectman Late seconded that amendment. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Sorry, we're still in hybrid. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin is still offline, and my vote is yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much. We're just gonna keep moving forward. Kern, do you have an update for us?
I do not.
All right, Mike, do you
I
have an update
do
for
not
us?
know.
Steve? And I do not. Moving along, we have the treasurer and payroll warrants to approve and sign.
I move that the board approve and sign the treasurer's and payroll warrants.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Ray. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike, what's your vote?
Yes.
Steve, what's your vote?
Yes.
Robin is still offline. And my vote is yes, the motion passes. And if there's no other business that the board needs to attend to at this time, I need a motion to enter into executive session to discuss acquisition or disposition of real property.
Move the board enter into executive session pursuant to Title I NRSA, Section 405, 6C, to discuss the possible acquisition or disposition of real property.
Second.
Moved by Selectman Late, seconded by Selectman Hand. Is there discussion? Seeing none. Kern, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robin is still offline, and my vote is yes, the motion passes. Thank you all very much. And do we have a separate Zoom link, or are we?
I'm going to, no, I'm going to stop the live stream.